What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we're continuing our Week 7 previews now with the Pac-12. And we got some pretty good games this week. Not any, big, high-profile games, but there are some good ones. Let's start with the Friday night game, Washington State at Cal, ESPN, 10:30 Eastern. And this is one of the games that I had on my upset alert video because I think Cal has a chance to win this game. I think we may see a shootout, and they've been pretty close. They had a chance to maybe upset USC. Some other games they've played fairly well in. So I'm expecting them to really play well in this game. Washington State hasn't really been tested too much besides that game against USC. It's just a road game for them. They haven't been on the road much either. I know what they did to Oregon last week, with Oregon without their starting quarterback. I wouldn't read too much into that. So, yeah, I think Cal, Friday night, that's when you see a lot of upsets. We just saw one, a couple of weeks ago when Washington State upset USC. But I do think, if I had to pick it, I'm going to pick Washington State to win a close game. All right, so let's go on now to a game of two of the worst teams in the Pac-12. We thought Colorado might be pretty good this year, but it turns out that does not appear to be the case. This one's on the Pac-12 Network Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Colorado a 12-point favorite on the road. Oregon State just fired their head coach. They are very, very bad. They are a terrible football team. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. This would be a good game for Colorado to get their confidence back up. I think they win it by more than 12. I don't know if Oregon State's going to stay within 12 of anybody in the Pac-12. So, yeah, Colorado big in this game by at least 20. Let's go on now to the next one. We've got Utah at USC, ABC, Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. This is the primetime game this week. USC a 13-point favorite at home. I think it'll be closer than that for sure. I'm surprised with the spread being that big. I think this is, this may be the game that determines the South. You look at the South, and there's just not a whole lot of, teams that really pop out at you. USC and Utah, I think both, still have a good chance to win it. Arizona State could be sneaking in there, as well as Arizona. UCLA not out of it. It's going to be an interesting race. If Utah wins this game, I think the South is going to be very chaotic. This is a chance, though, for USC to get a win and solidify themselves as the best team in the South and the front runner to win that division. But Utah, I think, definitely has a chance to win this game. I missed this on my upset alert. I do think Utah has a chance in this game. But, of course, if I was picking it, I'd probably pick USC by a field goal. Maybe an overtime game. All right, next game, Pac-12 Network, Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern. We got UCLA at Arizona. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I think this will be a really good football game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it because I don't get the Pac-12 Network. Arizona, a 1.5-point favorite at home. They're coming off a big win last week. UCLA, I believe, is on a bye week. So this will be interesting to see what happens in this game. Josh Rosen, can he be slowed down? Khalil Tate rushed for 327 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. So he's in there at quarterback now. So I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, at least in the 30s, maybe more than that. Josh Rosen will probably have 5 or 6 touchdowns. I don't know. It'll be a high score, I'm pretty sure. If I had to make a pick, I'm going to go UCLA to get the win on the road. If they find a way to get it done and maybe show that they're not quite out of it in the Pac-12 South just yet. I still think it could come down to that UCLA-USC game at the end of the year. All right, here we go. ESPN Saturday night, 10:45 Eastern. This is one of the games out on my upset alert. Washington at Arizona State. Washington a 17-point favorite. I definitely think this will be closer than that. I'm not going to say Washington will win. If I had to pick, I'm not going to say Washington will lose. If I had to pick, I would say Washington will win this game, but I think it'll be a close game, a one-possession game. Washington has not been tested. They have not played anybody really good at all. So I think Arizona State, they have a pretty good home field advantage, and I think they're going to be fired up for this game. I think they keep it close. Make a big play on defense or special teams, something just kind of keeps them in this game. But at the end of the day, Jake Browning, that Washington offense, they deliver with a game-winning drive, and Washington escapes with a close win over Arizona State on the road. And that may pretty much eliminate Arizona State in the South. All right, next game we've got, this is the final one, Oregon at Stanford, FS1, Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern. That is a late game. 10.5-point favorites for Stanford. Okay, so this looked like it was going to be a big game a few weeks ago. thought this was going to be a really good game. Now it doesn't look that way because Justin Herbert gets injured for Oregon. And Stanford, the way they're playing really good football right now, even though they struggled a little bit early. So I like them to win big. I like them to cover the 10.5 points in this game. Oregon's got to be deflated after that tough loss to Washington State. They really just weren't competitive at all in that game. So, yeah, I like Stanford to win this one big. Bryce Love continues his run at possibly the Heisman Trophy. It seems kind of crazy right now, but he is looking like he is a serious contender there to win the Heisman. So, yeah, Stanford wins this game. They get some momentum, and I still think this is the top team that can challenge Washington in the North. I think Stanford has a better chance than Washington State. A lot of people probably wouldn't agree with that, but that's how I feel. And I picked Stanford, preseason to win the North. So we'll see if they can get it done. But that's going to do it for this preview. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.